What's going on? Welcome back to another episode of Level Up with Gal. As you know, I'm your host, Gal Pereno. I'm super excited to dive in with you today to talk about time management tips and tricks and skills and how to get better at that. It's something that I've been working on for a long time and still a work in progress. So I want to share with you today some of the things I've learned over the years of time management and my career and my personal life and how it all comes intertwined with each other. But before we dive in, make sure you subscribe so you never miss any new episodes that comes out that can help you continue to level up in your life. And if you are returning and tuning in again, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I hope you find this episode just as helpful as all the other ones. If you are brand new, welcome to the freaking tribe. I'm so proud of you for starting your journey and your personal development journey to continue or start leveling up in your freaking life. So let's dive in today. I want to spend a little time talking to you about time management, right? And how to start getting better at that. It's truly a skill. You know, I remember when I started my career and I had a boss who's like, yeah, just do this and this and this and then get this done. And it's super easy. And I was like, what are you talking about? There's so much going on. Like, I got to do this and I got to do that and I got to answer the phone and I got to yada, 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 yada. Oh, and then all this stuff in my personal life is going on and all that's going on in my head, right? So how do you start to manage and maintain your time better in your personal life, in your career? Because I truly believe how we do one thing is how we do everything. Everything overflows into the other thing. How we think about one situation is going to be how we're going to react in another. I had to think about it for a second. But our life experiences and how we decide to do things, it's all intertwining. So for example, if you're always late to work, I'd be willing to bet that you're always late in your personal life, going to dinner, going to meet up for coffee, going to this appointment or whatever, right? How many times, or how many of you, and how many times have you been late to something? But you start to think, like, have you ever thought about it? Like, are you late to work too? Are you also late to things that you're trying to go to? Or are you somebody who's like always on time? Or who believes that being on time is actually being like 10 minutes early? Right? Like, we met those folks, like, they're never late, they're always early, and I would say on time, like, when it's literally time, but a lot of people wouldn't say that. They would say, like, hey, being on time is actually being early, and you account for actual commute time and all that, right? Yada, yada. So take a second and look in your life. How are you managing your time? Are you actually giving yourself enough time to commute there? So you're going to a hair appointment, and you know it's about 20 minutes away from your house. Are you actually allotting enough time? Okay, it's going to take me about 5 minutes to actually leave out the door and get in my car and actually leave my house. Okay, because if I actually leave only 20 minutes, technically I'm going to end up being 5 minutes late. So, you know what I'm saying? So if we take a moment to actually plan our day accordingly and we take into consideration all the moving pieces, all the parts that will affect us getting to something, we start to see, oh, I actually need to account a time for 30 minutes for me to be on time. All right, it's going to take me 5-10 minutes to, you know how you are, right? Gather things up, get it together, go and then get in the car, start driving there. Right? And I've done this. I've been guilty of this, right? I'm like, oh, 15 minutes away, perfect. I'm going to leave out the door 15 minutes before I have to be there. But I never actually make it out the door 15 minutes before. It'd be like 15 minutes before, and I'm like, oh, I still got to grab my purse. I got to grab my shoes. What shoes am I going to wear? By the time I get out the door, it's like 5-10 minutes later, and then I'm stressing and I'm driving. I'm like, oh my God, get out of my way. And I end up being late, which is even more stressful. And I'm using that example because when we are stressed out like that, we are rushing. We are having road rage, and we are putting ourselves in a state of panic. And have you ever had it where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm starting to sweat, my heart's pumping, and I'm having anxiety because I'm so late, and how am I going to get there on time? And right? Same goes for your career. If you have a very, very busy day and you don't plan accordingly and you don't time block, hey, at this time, I'm going to do this. At this time, I'm going to do this. But you have to learn to also be flexible, because sometimes within your day, you may have things that come up that is a higher priority than something else. And you're going to have to learn to shift that one item from the bottom to the top, and then move the top item that you thought was a priority that day down. It takes time, and it's a skill for you to develop. A lot of times, and what I've heard is I don't want to time block because I don't want to be restricted. I want to just have a free day and do whatever I want. I get it. That used to be me for a long time, where I would be like, well, I'll just get this done in the morning and I'll go do this, and then wherever else in between, I'll figure it out. But then I just work and work and work and work. And then I'm behind on this and I'm behind on that. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, the day is so stressful. So take some time in your day, the beginning of the day, right? To-do list or whatever you have in front of you that you, or maybe you don't even do a to-do list, but take some time to start to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to prioritize my day today and prioritize the item that are important to you, right? Start to, number one, see throughout your day, or in the beginning of the day, I should say, what is a priority today? What do I have to get done today? Put that at the top of your list and time block out your calendar. It's really important to hold yourself accountable. Like, I'm going to get this done. And I get it. Things can and will come up that's going to rock your day, shift things around. And you're like, how am I going to get all this stuff done? We're going to talk about that too in a little bit. But other thing is, make sure you set reasonable time limits of how much time you really need to get this one thing done versus this thing. And you don't have to be perfect, okay? Maybe you say, I'm going to take 30 minutes to do this. It maybe ends up taking you 45 minutes. Okay, adjust the rest of your day, account for that time, right? And make sure you are working on the things that are priority first for the day. Other thing is, really, you want to make sure you stay organized. Right? Like what I got going on, how much do I have going on, not just today, but in the future, right? Stuff like, okay, by this day, I have this due. In 2 days, I have X due. What do I need to do before I get to that day to accomplish what I need to get done? And it takes time and effort to put into your day to help you be organized and release some stress, so you have some structure of what you're going to tackle when throughout the day. And remember, like when you're setting an intention, this is what I'm going to get done at this time and that time, that's going to help you. But don't be so hard on yourself either. If there's an emergency call and something else trumps everything else, then you have to learn to adjust things a little bit. And then if it gets to the point where you're not going to get to all of it, maybe you need to move some of those items to the next day or the following day. Or if you're on a team, maybe it's time to like, hey, I have this certain thing due in 2 days and I have all this stuff ahead of it. And then today, all this other stuff came up. How can I release some stress for myself? Ask for help. Like, hey, can anyone help you? Or can they take a portion of what you're trying to complete to just keep the project moving forward? And that is one of the hardest things to do, because to ask for help, right? A lot of times we feel like you're not good enough, not worthy enough, or we're failing because we should be able to handle it. And how come we haven't been able to get it done? Or I'm just going to pack it on and I'm going to do it myself and I'm going to figure it out. Because, from my own experience growing up in my personal life and in my career, I had to be very determined and figure things out quickly, figure things out on my own. So it's like ingrained in me, right? Where I'm going to that's like my default. Like, I got it, take it on, and I'm not going to fail. Nothing will stop me. Something I say a lot is, when there is a will, there is a way. I truly believe, and we believe that we can do anything we can. We also have to know our limitations of how much we can do, how much we can take on, what is too much for us, where we need to reel it back a little bit and ask for help or ask for guidance. If we are drowning, we need to ask for help. Let's say, I'm going to use a real life example. So I was like, what I'm doing is not working. It's not like in my life, right? In general. So what am I going to do? So that's when I was like, okay, I'm going to hire help. So I started hiring coaches to learn how to shift my mindset, how to learn how to better manage my time, how to learn to connect with myself more, how to learn to have more confidence. So then in everything that I do, I can show up with more confidence, right? But we have to have the awareness of where are we at. And, we've been trying to figure out all along, and we're not getting there. So it's time to ask for help. Asking for help shows strength. Even though I'm telling you, it felt like it took everything in me because I was like, I figured it out, all along all these years. And why do I need help now? We need help because we don't know everything. And it is okay to ask for help. But the only way it gets easier to ask for help, whether you're hiring someone to help mentor you, or you're on a team and you're asking a colleague or your boss to help you, or maybe you're running your own business and you need to hire a consultant to help you get through a hump of what you're going through at the moment, it is okay to ask for help. And that is one of the toughest things. And I'm still working through that myself too, just to continue to know that, it is okay that we don't know everything and we're not less of a person. It doesn't mean we're not worthy. It doesn't mean that we're dumb. No, it means that, we need help, and we're going to actually utilize our resources and help ourselves level up and do better. Because when we help ourselves do better, we also help the people that we're helping do better and get a better freaking experience with us, and we get a better experience, right? Anytime you've helped someone, you get those warm, good, fuzzy feelings. Same thing, right? They get those warm, fuzzy feelings as well. The other tip I want to share is, stop multitasking, trying to do a million things at one time. I used to do this a lot, and I would think that I'm accomplishing the world, everything's getting done. But I tell you what, it does make it hard to continue to be on a call and send this email. And does it work? Can it work-ish? Yes. But does it make it hard? It does, right? And I still multitask till today, but I would a lot less than I used to. And what I mean by that is I used to be like, okay, I'm on a Zoom training call, and then I'm going to send this email, and I'm going to, read this document. But it's like, you're really not giving your full attention to any of that, because you're splitting yourself, right? Depending on how many things you're trying to do, you're splitting yourself really thin. And then how many times have any of you been there where you have to go reread that PDF, or you have to go reread that email because you're like, what was it? Exactly. So if you can limit things to that a little bit, it will make a huge difference. That's why time blocking is so important. Hey, I'm going to work on this at this time, and then I'm going to work on this. And I'm going to give myself a little break in between. I'm going to step away from my desk for a sec, or I'm going to step away, if you work, at a coffee shop, well, I'm going to take my 2-minute break or whatever. I'm going to go to the bathroom for a second, regroup, and then show back up. So a couple tips. So I don't know why I'm having a hard time saying that word. So within your day, see what is a priority, right? So you can actually see, hey, which tasks are most important today. Set reasonable time limits of the things you're working on, projects and stuff, and be realistic with yourself. If you're not realistic, you're going to put more pressure on yourself, and it's going to be like, oh my gosh, and you don't get to it. I literally just did this the other day where I was like, yeah, I'm going to get to that tomorrow morning, and then I didn't. So I was like, okay, next time I need to be a little bit more realistic. And even though I knew in my gut I wasn't going to get to it, but I was like, yes, I am, because I like to challenge myself. But let's set aside our ego, and challenging yourself is good, but let's be realistic on our goals and our expectations with ourselves and the expectations we're giving to someone else if we're helping someone. Avoid multitasking as much as possible, so you can really focus and actually get that one task done, and then move on to the next. Learn to move things around, right? Stay organized. If things come up, move things from your schedule to something else. Also, delegate, ask for help, delegate if you can, and even if you're not a manager, right? Ask for help and hey, can someone do this to help me out? But also learn to say no when you have too much on your plate. I am someone who tends to say yes a lot. Yeah, I got it. I'll do it. Right? We all like to help others, but we also have to be realistic of how much we're doing, how much we can actually help. Because if we say yes to a million things and we don't get to it, it actually harms us and it harms whoever we're trying to help in the bigger picture. So I hope you found those couple tips helpful. And the last one I'll leave you with is eliminate distractions. So put your phone down, right? Don't sit here and I'm going to work on this project for, X amount of time. And then you're like, oh, I'm going to actually end up playing on Instagram for X amount of time or whatever. So try to eliminate some of those distractions as well. And with all these things I'm bringing up, and I'm still work in progress too, every single day. I'm like, well, I time blocked all this stuff, and you know what? That didn't quite go according to plan, so I need to do better. or I didn't get to all that stuff. So how can I do better, right? We all have the same amount of time in a day, and it's all about how we're working. How efficient are we working? How well are we managing our time? Are we spending too much time on something when we could have asked for help sooner? And that's something I'm still working on myself, learning and giving myself time limits. Hey, if I'm working on this and it's been over 15, 20 minutes, all right, I got to raise my hand. This is taking so long, because then now it's pushing back the whole rest of my day. Right? And don't beat yourself up too. I really want to stress that, because it's going to take time to adjust our default habits. It's going to take time to implement new little things into our schedule. Take it one step at a time. Like even all these tips, pick one of them, right? Maybe it's as simple as, let me just start by setting time limits, or let me just start by looking at my list today of how much I have going on and how I can better, prioritize my day, right? Start in little baby steps. And then when you start to implement it every day, and then after a few weeks, it becomes a habit and it makes it easier. But right now, if you start and you do all these tips and you fail and you get upset and you're not going to want to do it again, and if you try to do it for only a week and then it doesn't go well, and you're going to give up, you're going to go right back to your default. So give yourself time to implement things, and know that we're all a work in progress every single freaking day, including me. These tips I utilize in my own life every day, and I'm not perfect. There's no such thing. So everyone operates a little bit differently. So see what works for you, adjust your schedule accordingly, and then keep showing up for yourself, and don't freaking give up. As long as you believe that you're going to continue to do better, and you want to do better, and you're open-minded to learn new things and tips and way to communicate better, be more confident, show up better, and manage your time better. The more you manage your time better in your personal life, in your career, and they both overflow to each other, the better you're going to show up in your everyday life, and the less stress and resistance you're going to feel every day when you get up and you're like, oh, I have so much going on. Take a deep breath. You got this. You're going to figure it out. You figured it out all along to now. And also realize, if you need deeper help and you need more one-on-one, reach out and get that one-on-one help, whether it's your boss, a mentor, or coach, whoever that you need to help you continue to improve and level up in your life. Remember, every single person that crosses our path or that we interact with, we can learn from, because they have different experiences, different views on life, different outlooks, and the different ways to do things, right? There's multiple ways to do one thing. But you have to find the way that works best for you. So I hope you found this episode helpful and start to implement a few of these tips into your day. Let me know how it goes. Feel free to email me or send me a message in any of my social media accounts. Feel free to email me at lifecoach@galpareno.com. I love you so much. Thank you for tuning in. I will catch you in the next episode.